clatter when the curtain fell. Or perhaps the thump of Rose's body hitting the tub. "Oh my God, Rose, what happened?" Rose tried to sit up, but the pain coupled with the curtain wrapped around her made it difficult. She instinctively pulled her injured arm into her chest. "Turn off." She had to suck in a breath through her teeth as another wave of agony rolled over her. She took 2 more breaths, then managed. "Turn off the water." A shiver gripped her, making her whole body shake. As a professional athlete, she'd endured her share of injuries. Torn ACL in college, a couple concussions, strains and sprains. There was always something bruised or sore, and she'd played in just about every weather condition, from 10 below wind chill and snow to over 100 degrees. But somehow, this pain coupled with the freezing water streaming over her was an extra level of hellish agony. Maybe because she was also naked and helpless in front of the woman she'd loved for years. Cassie did as asked and the water stopped. Relief number 1. Rose used her good arm to try to help Cassie lift the curtain rod out of the tub, which required Rose to move and shift to get the wet fabric off her skin and away from her body where it had stuck to her. The rod kept banging against the wall, then the ceiling as Cassie maneuvered it away, leaving Rose sitting wet and naked in the middle of the tub, clutching her right arm to her chest and shivering. "Can you get up?" Cassie asked, her blue eyes darting around, refusing to land on Rose. Did Rose appreciate her friend's discretion? Or did she want Cassie's eyes on her? Bad Rose. No wanting Cassie to see her, really see her naked. Of course, they'd seen each other plenty of times in the locker room, but that was different. That was work. Even lusting after her teammate, Rose could remain professional and not sneak a peek. That was pervy. But now they were in the privacy of their home, in Rose's personal bathroom, her intimate space. Everything was different. "I think so." Rose crossed her ankles and braced her good hand on the edge of the tub, and tried to stand. But her feet slipped, and she thumped right back on her ass, rattling her teeth. It shot another bolt of agony up her arm, her hand throbbing. Tears again welled in her eyes, and she blinked them back. Cassie hovered at the side of the tub, arms reaching aimlessly in Rose's direction. "Let me help you." Rose's whole body flushed hot in mortification. She'd imagined Cassie touching her bare skin hundreds of times. But never could she have imagined the first time, the only time, damn it, would be like this. Fuck. She wanted to crawl into bed and sleep for 1,000,000 years until they could both forget this ever happened. But that wasn't possible. Her hand was messed up and she was going to need to contact the team's on-call doctor. She was dizzy with pain, so Cassie would have to drive her. Fuck a clucking duck. Rose nodded and immediately Cassie's hands were on her slippery, bare skin. And those big, powerful hands felt as amazing sliding over Rose's shoulder as she'd known they would. They'd touched plenty of times before as teammates, but never like this. Never with this intimacy. Never when Rose was so vulnerable, naked in more than just the lack of clothing sense. Slowly, gently, Cassie helped Rose up so she could sit on the edge of the tub and swing her legs over to the floor. Then, as Rose cradled her injured hand, Cassie grabbed a towel and wrapped it around Rose's shoulders. Leading the way, Cassie went through the door into Rose's bedroom. "I'll get you some clothes while you try to dry off. I can help. Then we need to take you to get an X-ray." As goalkeeper for the Milwaukee Wolfpack, Cassie was used to taking charge and directing people to where they needed to be, especially her defense, which included Rose. Off the field, sometimes it could get annoying. But in that moment, Rose appreciated her friend's take-charge attitude. She was too out of it to think for herself. All she could process was pain and want. Cassie collected Rose's clothes, then finished drying her damp skin. Her strokes over the towel were efficient and impersonal, but that didn't stop Rose's pulse from speeding up. Then Cassie grabbed Rose's underpants and dropped to her knees before Rose, and Rose almost passed out. She'd never imagined this would be how she'd finally get Cassie in this position. Because the image was too much, she closed her eyes and Cassie held her panties so Rose could step into them. They repeated the same process with Rose's nylon US soccer shorts. "Can you put on a bra?"